The theme of acceptance surrounds Alluka and Nanika's story. Alluka is a member of the Zoldyck family, but she's very different from anyone else she's related to. She doesn't excel in any physical capacity and holds no ill will towards anyone. She stands up for the people she cares about and routinely gets worried that she's a burden on others. Her family, outside of Killua, never tries to understand her. They misgender her, strip her of her humanity, and quarantine her in a room out of fear of a power that they can't comprehend. Nanika is a being from the Dark Continent that the book Journey to the New World dubs I. It describes her as a threat to humanity, calling her a codependence of desire. The Zoldyck family, outside of Killua, don't understand and fear her power. Even Killua thinks of her as a lesser being than Alluka, and thinks she's the reason for Alluka's suffering. Nanika couldn't be more different from these views of her. She cares about and is cared for by Alluka, and she loves Killua. She isn't a being that wants destruction. In fact, she's only dangerous if others take advantage of her. In this video, I'm going to explain how Nanika's powers are actually her attempt at helping Alluka, the one that first accepted her. It's never stated how Nanika ended up in Alluka's body, but I'd guess that it's related to Zig Zoldyck's venture to the Dark Continent along with Isaac Netero and Lynette Audible. I highly doubt that Nanika was ever given any form of affection or care before she met Alluka. Netero said that visiting her home was a harsh battle against Mother Nature where no victors existed. When Nanika found herself in Alluka's body, I'd guess that she was expecting to be feared, hated, and taken advantage of by Alluka. But that isn't what happened. Alluka cared about Nanika and saw her as an extension of herself. I think this caused Nanika to become kinder and feel indebted to Alluka, wanting to be useful to her similar to how Killua felt towards Gon early on. The mechanics of Nanika's powers give us insight not only into her personality, but how she feels towards Alluka. These mechanics, as described by Killua, are: fulfill 3 of Nanika's demands, and she grants you 1 wish. The wishes she can grant are probably limitless. We're pretty sure she can do anything. But the bigger the wishes, the bigger her next demands will be. It's basically an equivalent exchange, and the price, the consequence of the wish, has to be paid by the next person. Refuse 4 of her own demands in a row, and at least 2 people, you and the one you most love, die simultaneously. The bigger the wish, the more casualties there will be in the next round when Nanika's demands are refused. Additionally, if you order Nanika to do something, she'll do it without any cost or demands of her own. Lastly, if a wish is made for selfish reasons, cruel demands will be issued to the next wisher. If the wish is used to heal others, the next demands will be harmless. I believe that Nanika's demand and wish mechanics are meant to be a way to help Alluka make friends. This might seem outlandish, but hear me out. I believe that Nanika has a very similar mindset on friendship to early series Killua. They both see friendship as transactional. What I mean by this is that they both think friends are only as close as they are useful to each other. I think it's important to keep in mind that Nanika is from the Dark Continent here, a place filled with brutality and beasts, completely alien from the human world. Not only does Nanika lack an understanding of humans in any capacity, but also it makes sense for anything she does to be super over the top and brutal given where she comes from. Nanika wants to repay her perceived debt to Alluka, so she tries to create connections for her, asking people for small forms of affection, like to hold her hand or give her a piggyback ride. Then, Nanika wants to give that person something after the demands she made in order to make the transaction, and by extension friendship, equal. If this person is like Killua and asks for something similar to what Nanika asked for, being affection, or something selfless like healing, she's happy and continues to make kind requests. This creates a kind and equal and empathetic relationship. If the person takes advantage of her by seeing her as an opportunity to gain something selfish, Nanika asks for things of the same caliber. Ask Nanika for a kiss on the cheek, she'll ask someone to pat her head. Ask her for $1 million, she'll ask for someone's spine. I think this is Nanika's way of calibrating what people expect of each other. She asks for as much as people ask from her. If someone refuses 4 of her demands, she gets angry and kills them, the one they love most, and possibly many others. Then she'll start asking again for small forms of affection. She's content and kind with those that are content and kind, but she gets angry when she's taken advantage of and lashes out on the next wisher. I also believe that Alluka and Nanika influenced each other during their time quarantined together with no human contact. Alluka became a bit darker, shown by the way she plays with Killua, laughing when he pretends she killed him. and Nanika became much lighter, more vulnerable, and willing to open up to others. I think she's afraid of being alone again, and this leads her to respond to demands. If someone tells her to do something, she's fearful and does whatever they tell her to do. With someone like Killua, I'm sure she does it happily, but the idea of her not asking anything of a demandee when they demand something makes her seem like a scared pushover. Nanika also gained a sense of kindness from Alluka. This kindness is directly stated by Killua when he's defending her from his brother Illumi. Killua explains that Nanika never makes cruel requests after her powers are used for healing, that she's kinder than any of them, and the cruel ones are the ones that take advantage of her abilities. Alluka and Nanika only want one thing: acceptance. They were able to accept each other, a black sheep among a family of assassins, and an entity from the Dark Continent deemed to be a threat to humanity. Nanika wants to repay the kindness that Alluka showed her, even if it comes out as a seemingly terrifying ability. An ability that is kind as long as it isn't taken advantage of. An ability that breeds equality and empathy. This has been Evan. Thank you for watching.